This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
Hi, it is a Wednesday on the After Party Live. That was a long Mark Thompson show. So sorry for the late start here, but it ends, this one starts, and that's kind of how we've decided to do it as a group, right? So that's the way it is. I saw you, Wes. I saw you jump in with a $5 super sticker before the show even started, and I noticed something. When I see the show on YouTube, which I have to go to put the link into the Mark Thompson Show chat, when I see it there, then I realize there's a cute little dancing pear associated with it. But when I click on it here, there is no graphics. So we kind of missed the dancing pear part of the story, but thank you for the dancing pear and thank you for the $5 super sticker. Really, really nice. This show is crowdfunded. Wes reminds me to remind you that there is a PayPal link that is located in the show description and in the about section here on YouTube of the After Party Live. So thank you to everyone who keeps this show rolling. I do want to say Janet R., it's her 20th anniversary today. 20 years. That's a big milestone. So congratulations. If I had the background, because you see the full screen, I would put the balloons up for you. But I don't have the capability of doing that unless there's two people and that makes us have to see the background. Happy anniversary. I hope you guys have a really good day and another 20 years to you as well. So awesome. Okay, let's get into it because now we don't have a lot of time left, but I have some great stories for you today. It's interesting. And Teacher Lori, thank you for the description. I put it in the about section as well of all the different themes. Lori is totally the shadow producer of this show and took it upon herself to write a little write-up, basically, of all the theme days here on the After Party. She says we should have, I think she said Wild Wednesday. I was thinking maybe Waterfall Wednesday. Wednesday is still a big question mark. I don't know. We'll see if we get to the waterfalls I have planned for you today. But what I can say that we have today is a couple of interesting stories. One of them I thought was kind of cool. It's about where we find these rare earth elements that we need to make cell phones, to make all kinds of electronics, things that power the future, electric vehicles, wind turbines, other clean technologies. All of them involve using these rare earth elements like lanthanum, neodymium, and terbium. And these things, according to a new study, may be found in extinct volcanoes. This mysterious magma in extinct volcanoes might be filled with the elements that we need to make all of these things. I forgot to say, hi, Heather, welcome back. Woohoo! Hope you had a great time on your vacation. Okay, so these rare earth metals, they call them rare earths. They might not actually be that rare, but they're really hard to extract from the earth. They're found in low concentrations, and we have now more of a demand for these things. We need them. And so there's a mad dash to try to figure out where they are, where the sources of them are, and how to best get them out. There's this new study that potentially opens up a new avenue for rare earth extraction. According to the study author, his name is Michael Annenberg. He's a research fellow at the Australian National University, and he spoke with CNN, saying that the research was inspired by the discovery last year of an enormous deposit of rare earth elements in Kiruna in Arctic Sweden, and that's what you're looking at right here. That's Kiruna. It's this mining town that sits on this huge mass of iron ore formed 1,600 million years ago after intense volcanic activity. So that led to this question. Why are rare earths at this location? Was it a geological accident? Is there something about these iron-rich volcanoes that also makes them rich in rare earth elements? So, because they couldn't visit one of these places to find out, they said, this type of volcano was incredibly rare. So we've never seen anything like it. We've never seen an iron-rich magma erupt from an active volcano. But they do know that some extinct volcanoes did have this type of eruption. So they simulated a magma chamber in the lab using a synthetic rock with a similar composition to those from extinct volcanoes. And they put it to a pressurized furnace and they heated it to really high temperatures. Once the rock melted and became magmatic, that's the word of the day. Your temper is magmatic. The iron-rich magma absorbed all the rare earth elements from its surrounding environment, according to this study, and they've concluded iron-rich magma is up to 200 times more efficient at concentrating rare earths than the magma commonly erupting from regular volcanoes. And that means there could be unexplored deposits of rare earths in extinct volcanoes around the world. And that includes here in the United States, in Chile, and Australia. That many of these sites are already mined for iron ore, which they say makes it a win-win for companies and for the environment, because the companies will be able to get more value out of the mine, and we no longer have to dig up resources from new places. So, will it work? Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Here's another picture from the story. This is an area in the United States. It's called Pilot Knob National Wildlife Refuge. It's in Missouri. It's a former iron ore mine. It also could have rare earth elements. Now, it's a national wildlife refuge now, so I don't know how they're going to get the rare earths out, but it's another avenue for these substances that we need, as they say, to power the future. There is something going on at the U.S. Capitol in Statuary Hall. There's a picture of Statuary Hall. Dignified, the people that we want to honor from the past. For the first time ever, we are honoring a musician in Statuary Hall. There is a new statue of Johnny Cash that has just been unveiled. He becomes the first musician with a statue at the U.S. Capitol. His bronze likeness now is in Statuary Hall. There was a big ceremony where they had family members and lawmakers that talked about the legacy of Johnny Cash. The United States Air Force Band was there to play I Walk the Line at the hour-long ceremony yesterday. Roseanne Cash, Johnny Cash's daughter, was there speaking. So he's right alongside historical figures like civil rights leader Daisy Bates, who fought for desegregation in Arkansas. Roseanne Cash said, "What a remarkable day." She said, "In my wildest dreams, I couldn't have imagined." So, pretty cool. The last surviving member of the original Cash family from Diaz, Arkansas, has tragically lost her sight and asked if she could touch the statue to feel what it was, and she did. That's Roseanne Cash's aunt. She said, "Words can't come close to expressing our pride to see my dad accorded such a singular privilege, the first musician in history to be included in the Statuary Hall collection." This statue of Johnny Cash, here's a close-up picture of the face, it's pretty good. It looks a lot like him. Look at the detailing on the hair. Pretty cool. The statue was sculpted by Kevin Cressy. Johnny Cash carries a Bible and wears a guitar strapped to his back. The placard on the statue reads singer, songwriter, artist, and humanitarian. So the statue, they say, because it's holding a Bible out in front, his nephew said, "I think if there were visiting hours in heaven, that I believe that JR would say, 'Kevin Crass, you got that right.'" This Johnny Cash statue replaces Arkansas's 18th governor, James P. Clark, who made remarks about preserving the white standards of Arkansas. So out he goes. Bates statue replaced the one from a Confederacy sympathizer, Uriah Rose. I think they got it a little better with Johnny Cash. And I know he had some issues, right? Had some turbulent times in his life. But I think it's a better choice than, I don't know, white supremacists or people who leaned that way. Anyway, Johnny Cash, representing Arkansas at Statuary Hall. We talk about animals working together. I'm fascinated by this because I don't know how these species communicate with each other or how they manage to do something like hunt where they have to work like a real team. But even in species that are completely different, there is evidence of teamwork. The teamwork In the teamwork, octopuses have been observed hunting alongside fish, and we've known about this for a long time. Scientists thought that these interactions were just fish kind of mooching off the octopus's flexible appendages and success in hunting, stealing a little bit of food where they could. At least they thought octopuses, or octopi, led the charge and that the fish were just kind of taggers on, right? Hangers on. But according to a study published September 23rd in the journal Nature, Ecology, and Evolution, there's a little bit more to this. We know that fish and octopuses hunt in packs where members of different species take on different social roles. Sometimes the octopus puss leads, sometimes the octopus follows cues from members surrounding their squad. Specific types of fish seem to play recurring parts, and in certain instances, fish even initiate the bouts of hunting and will recruit octopuses from their dens. So maybe the fish aren't playing second fiddle after all. The sophistication of these relationships wasn't previously understood. They say nobody really knew that octopuses have this sophisticated social life, not with other octopuses, but with other species. So what's novel is that you have very different animals forming these heterogeneous groups with different types of individuals playing different roles. And it's something that hasn't really been studied broadly in animal behavior before. There are other animals that work in tandem as well. The badger and the coyote have been observed hunting ground squirrels together. Groupers and eels cooperate to flush prey out of coral crevices. But this whole octopus-fish dynamic takes things up really another notch. They collaborate, they work together to exploit a condition, they share leadership roles. There is 120 hours that were spent diving and recording video in the Red Sea. And researchers captured 13 separate instances of mixed species hunting. They say it took a lot of work and effort to collect those observations. But they did it and managed to stumble upon these sea creatures at mealtime. Hunting bouts, they say, can last as long as 90 minutes. The diving scientists would submerge to find a posse already on the prowl, accidentally disrupt and disperse an ongoing hunt, or run out of air and have to stop recording in the middle. But some of the observations they made in these dives is that the first time they witnessed an octopus punching one of the fish as it fell out of line, issuing a forceful jab, the first time they say they saw it, they couldn't use the footage because they started laughing and they couldn't keep the camera straight because it was so unexpected. But that the behavior is really notable. They say there are more subtle social patterns hidden beneath the surface that really require extra time and attention to unravel it. They say octopuses tend to be in the center of the hunting packs and that they will decide whether or not to move to a new location. When an octopus moves, most of the fish follow. And octopuses use their arms to force prey out of hiding. Blue goatfish, I have a picture of this. Here's the blue goatfish and the octopus working together as well. So that's pretty cool, right? It's fascinating how these creatures have this relationship. I love it. Anyway, you'll find the study, more on this study, in the, if you're interested, in the journal. I had it. Where is it? I forget it. I already said it, but just studied this week. It goes on and on. There's a video. You can find the story on Popular Science, in the magazine Popular Science. But I just thought that was really interesting. I'm fascinated by such things. Nature, Ecology, and Evolution is where you'll find the whole study. So, thought that was a good one. Okay, I just saw this come through. I already mentioned you. I don't know if you knew this, Janet. We talked about it at the top of the show, but I do see that you have kicked in $20 for the After Party Live. Huge thank you for that. And sharing some love with the After Party. Well, Janet, happy 20th anniversary to you. That is quite the milestone. What a great thing. So I hope you guys have a day full of love and fun and celebrating, and I hope you have many more years of marriage together. That's really nice. So happy anniversary to both of you, and thank you for the contribution to the show. Let us move now toward night parrots. Look at this little creature. These guys are really rare. These night parrots are said to be the world's rarest birds, one of the world's rarest birds. And they've just discovered the largest colony of night parrots that they've ever seen. They say these parrots have an unexpected protector, but they just found about 50 night parrots in this new colony in a remote area of Western Australia. And this more than doubles the population estimates for colonies of this bird, the night parrot, that at one point we thought was extinct. This discovery increases the chance of saving this parrot with one of the planet's most unusual avian lifestyles. Despite the nocturnal living, they don't actually have great night vision. And so this creature remains critically endangered. And there's a call now for more efforts to help save this little guy. This parrot, we almost forgot about this parrot. But now that it's kind of been rediscovered in this larger population, they thought they were only living in one area. And now it turns out they're living in more than one area in Australia. So they placed, the researchers, these acoustic recorders known as song meters across 31 sites in an area called the Eastern Pilbara in Australia. It's remote, it's sparsely inhabited, and 17 of these sites recorded the parrot's nighttime call. They had to search at the most promising sites, and rangers and scientists came across an old nest and some feathers, as well as sometimes hearing the birds call themselves, and they managed to, with a photo trap, take a picture of one of these things in the wild, which is almost unheard of. There he is. You can see him right in the foreground there. The recordings revived these old stories about how the parrot's eerie call was once used by parents in this Ngurapa tribe to discourage children from straying too far from campfires, telling them it was the sound of evil spirits. The story is one example of how collaboration between scientists and rangers from the Ngurapa could help save local ecology and the tribe's threatened heritage as well. So the scientists are looking at other places that these night parrots have been found and where cats appear to be kind of rare. And that's the combination that appears essential for night parrots, because they can't see very well. So cats can get them. Big cats, small cats, what have you. The scientists say we've never flushed a night parrot out when walking past a nesting site. In years of study, the only time scientists or rangers saw these parrots was on the second to last trip when one flew into camp and landed right in front of rangers. They got a good look. They say people were reaching for their cameras but couldn't quite capture it in time to photograph that bird. When owls evolved to hunt in darkness, they developed an array of special features, exceptional eyesight, noise-canceling wings, but these parrots don't have any of that. So usually parrots are creatures of daylight, but it's so hot in the day in this part of Australia that the reason night parrots come out at night is so they can keep cool, which is different from other nocturnal parrots. There's only one other one. But a study of their eyes indicates small changes compared to other parrots. So it's a little detail of their biology. Some of them die from flying into things, but now they found more of them, so they're working to save them. So hello, little night parrot. That's pretty cool. This story, I'll give you a guess ahead of time as to the punchline of this story, and it's the only reason really to read it. There is, or was, a truck full of live chickens that was headed down an Oklahoma roadway. And this truck, something happened and the live chickens fell off. And so there were live chickens running all around the roadway. And the Oklahoma Highway Patrol troopers had to come out and try to rescue all these chickens that were scattered running all around the road in between traffic. This makeshift trailer lost multiple chickens over the course of about a mile on Interstate 44 headed through Tulsa. So this trooper, his name is Carlos Zavala, saw a woman trying to corral a chicken using the concrete barrier. So he got involved, and he was able to wrangle that chicken and the rest of the birds, rescued all of these chickens, and the Oklahoma Highway Patrol put out a statement with the tagline, "Sometimes even the chicken needs help crossing the road." If you guessed it, you get After Party Live points. I don't know if you guessed it, but hopefully some of you did. No, don't see it. That's funny. Yep, sometimes even the chickens need help. So there you go. The Oklahoma chickens. I don't know what what fate lies ahead for these chickens, but I guess what we know is they were saved at least at one point, right? Louise with a $5 super sticker. Let's keep this party going. Love this politics-free oasis. Excited to see Crowded House. Woohoo! My favorite band. Sting, Pearl Jam, and others at the Ohana Festival this weekend. Louise, that's going to be a great show. You have to tell us how it went. I'm so excited for you. That's awesome. Jim said their future is chicken dumplings at Cracker Barrel. It's possible. It's possible. Okay, I have video to show you of this mega mouth shark. And this woman who dove with it. Hold on, I have a picture. The picture's kind of almost better than the video because the video appears a little bit smaller. But here's the picture of this. This woman, incredibly brave. Incredibly brave. I don't think I would have been able to get this close to a shark. In the video, she gets right in front of it. I don't know if you want to get in front of something called megamouth. Yeah, no, I don't think so. It's a 5-meter megamouth shark meeting this human woman in a rare video of a wildlife encounter. It happened in June. This British diver had this encounter with this rare prehistoric shark, megamouth, also called Macasma pelagios, hardly ever seen alive. But this 16.5-foot behemoth emerged from the depths to be videotaped with this female diver. Her name is Bee Smith, and she's a team member at Shark Education, and she's currently working on a documentary about megamouth sharks in Taiwan. So she puts this TikTok TikTok video up, sharing that the search for megamouths got a time frame after finding out she needed to be back in the UK to appear on something called Spring Watch. And just before she had to leave, this megamouth made an appearance. I can't even, it freaks me out just to see how close she is to this giant, massive, huge-mouthed shark. And I'll have the video to show you here. I'll take her away and show you this. I think, I'll let you guys look at it. I have to undo the sound, but there she is, swimming next to this megamouth. The thing is 16 and a half feet long, right? And here she comes, swimming alongside of it. And look at this, getting in front of it. Now, this is where I start going, okay, maybe you don't want to get in front of its mouth. Like, maybe this isn't the best idea you've had. But apparently, she's all right. And everything works out okay. And she's swimming around with this thing. I think it's a little scary. Let's take another look at it. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I could ever do anything like this, but she is brave, and in the name of science, there she is going for it. Her quote is this: "From the first moment I saw each of the megamouths, it didn't seem real. When I was with them, I was focused on doing what needed to be done for the project. It was only after the encounters were over I could process what happened, and I was so happy when I got back on the boat." Personally, she said it meant a lot because she's been obsessed with sharks since she was a child. More importantly, it meant I had finally gotten the knowledge and the footage that I needed for this documentary. So there she is with her megamouth. These megamouths were first discovered back in 1976 when one of them was seen off the coast of Hawaii. Since then, there has only been 279 sightings. And this is because these creatures are deep water sharks. They only come to the surface to feed on plankton at night. So when we see them, it's mostly because they're dead. They've washed up on a shore, or they got caught in a fishing net. So it's really rare to see them. The majority of sightings come from fishery catches in Taiwan, where they had a ban on megamouth catching introduced in 2020. It means that if a megamouth is caught, it has to be returned to the ocean immediately, whether it's dead or alive. So, they went out on the boats of the drift net fishers who have caught these megamouths to film their fishing. If they caught one, the team was going to help cut it free, film it, take tissue samples, and then put it back and put acoustic tags on it if it was still alive. This video of this woman swimming with megamouth sharks joins a very select archive of megamouth shark footage, including a world first sighting of 2 megamouth sharks together in 2023. So, yeah, they don't know why those two were hanging out together, but here we have this one, and that's a really cool video. So let us move toward Fortnite. I know I have some gamers in the crowd, and Fortnite is doing this new thing where they're working with real archaeologists to create an add-on to the city of London. UK studio Zaha Hadid Architects is now collaborating with Epic Games, which makes Fortnite, to create a parametric-style version of London that players are allowed to build on in the video game Fortnite. The game is called Reimagine London, this Fortnite portion of the game, and players are dropped into a creator-made island on London's waterfront, populated with curved buildings in keeping with the architect's signature style. And players can form their own parametric architecture with these readily designed modules combining them into their desired buildings on sites near recognizable city landmarks like St. Paul's Cathedral, Tate Modern, Shakespeare's Globe Theater. It's an effort in these multiplayer games to encourage people to explore urban developments and community engagement by inviting them to create walkable areas with sustainable and mixed use buildings, according to the architect. But how cool is it that architects have partnered with a video game to get people creatively thinking in this way? We're not a Fortnite house here, but I think that's a pretty cool thing that they're doing. We talk about this, we've talked about this on the show before. These messages and in bottles, right? And a new one has been found that I think is particularly interesting. This is a 200-year-old message in a bottle. Like a kind of a glimpse into the past. So interesting. And there it is, this 200-year-old message in a bottle. This archaeologist message was found at a dig site 200 years later by students working at this site in France. So 200 years ago, there was an archaeologist working at the same archaeological dig site in France. Student volunteers were working now on this emergency dig at the remains of a Gaulish village endangered by cliff erosion when they found this small glass bottle inside of an earthenware pot. They brought the bottle to Guillaume Blondel. So sorry, had to take a cough break there. So they bring this message to this archaeologist who made a kind of a surprising discovery. The message reads, P.J. Ferret, or Ferret, a native of Dieppe, a member of various intellectual societies, carried out excavations here in January of 1825. He continues his investigations in this vast area known as Cité des Limes, or Caesar's Camp. And Blondel told the BBC this was an absolutely magic moment. He said, "We knew there had been excavations here in the past, but to find this message from 200 years ago was a total surprise." Local records revealed Ferret was a well-known archaeologist at the time and conducted his first dig at that village site 200 years ago. The archaeologist said sometimes you see these time capsules left behind by carpenters when they build houses, but that it's very rare in archaeology. Most archaeologists prefer to think that there won't be anyone coming after them because they've done all the work that needs to be done there. But how cool is that? A 200-year-old message. And I love it. A little history popping up. You guys ready for the lotto of the day? These stories, we've seen this before, where two members of a family happen to win, and it always makes me think, what's going on here? But I guess members of a family play together, win together. I don't necessarily know that they were playing together, but here's this man in Nebraska. And he won the jackpot, his jackpot, 2 months after his son won a jackpot. This man won $120,000 2 months after his son won $100,000 from a scratch-off ticket. The Nebraska Lottery said Grand Island resident Douglas Dahl bought a ticket with 5 plays for Sunday's Nebraska Pick 5 drawing from the Fat Dogs truck stop on Grand Island, and one of his plays matched the drawing number, so he wins $120,000. His son also bought a scratch-off ticket in July, and he won $100,000. Neither one of them say they plan to stop playing Nebraska's Pick 5 anytime soon. He says he already has his tickets for tonight. So, father and son, big winners in Nebraska. Okay, I have one more story for you today. And we'll call this, I guess you could call this the wild, weird Wednesday story of the day. And this one is about a massive cheesecake. This cheesecake was had come into play. I have a picture. Hold on, let me show you the picture of the cheesecake. Not that you couldn't have spent your Wednesday without it, but you know what? When you're looking at a cheesecake, sometimes things get a little bit better. So there it is. There's this massive cheesecake with the Philadelphia name right on the top. It's monstrous, and it's now the winner of the world's largest cheesecake title. This cheesecake was served at a cream cheese festival in New York, the annual cream cheese festival in Lowville, New York. And this Guinness World Record attempt, which was successful, featured a 15,008 pound cheesecake. 15,008 pounds. The Kraft Heinz plant in Lowville set the record for the world's largest cheesecake at the festival in 2013, but they were beaten by a team from Russia who made a 9,300 pound cheesecake in 2017. So they decided that's not going to do. They're going to smash this record again. So he said, if you're going to beat it, you might as well go big. They decided to smash the record, going almost twice as big as the last one. So this is huge. There was a Guinness World Record adjudicator present for the cheesecake's unveiling. They confirmed it weighed 15,008 pounds, which was more than enough to reclaim the title. The Cream Cheese Festival chair called it unbelievable. To have a record in 2013 and then to win it again, it shows how the community comes together, and we couldn't be more proud. The cheesecake, all 15,008 pounds of it, was sliced and served to the attendees at the festival, and then the leftovers, because it was so big, were donated to local food banks as well. So, that's a big-ass cheesecake, I'll tell you. Either you love cheesecake or you hate it, it seems. All right, that is the show for today. I barely managed to croak it out, but I think we did it and pulled it off, and I hope you guys have a really great rest of your Wednesday. Tomorrow is Trivia Thursday, and I've got some exciting questions that I'm already looking at. A huge thank you to Wes, who kicked us off with a $5 super sticker, and I really couldn't appreciate it more. And then Luis came in with a $5 super sticker to keep this party going, and a lovely message. And 20th anniversary celebrating Janet R. throws down a $20 super sticker as well. So huge thank you to everyone who has participated in the show today and who contributes to keep this thing going. I just really couldn't love you anymore. So thank you so much. I don't know what happened. I think I got sick on Friday, and so my voice is already really raggedy. And then I think I breathed wrong. And then when I started coughing, that's when my voice got raggedy. It happened to me one other time on this show too. Maybe I'm getting old now. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But yeah, sorry you had to go through that with me. Hopefully I was able to mute myself. I tried. Okay. Have a great rest of your day. Make it a really good one. I'll see you back on the Mark Thompson Show. David Katz is on the show, and there's a lot to talk to him about tomorrow. And then Trivia Thursday here on the After Party Live, followed by the Nikki Maduro Show tomorrow. If you haven't already, set yourself a reminder. 5 p.m. here on YouTube. It is politics, cocktails, mocktails, and a great time to hang out and just have a really good time. So that is tomorrow, the Nikki Maduro Show at 5 o'clock. I don't want you to miss it because I want you to be there for it so we can all have fun together. Teacher Lori writes, so Kim, hide in a cave Mondays, yes. Travel Tuesdays. Wild, weird Wednesdays. I'm thinking maybe Waterfall Wednesdays. I don't know. Wild, weird Wednesdays. I have to think about exactly what stories to put for Wild, weird Wednesdays. I was also thinking, you guys might think this is lame, Wednesday is hump day, right? Maybe always having a story about reproduction or some type of sexy story for hump day. I don't know. Let me know what you think, Lori. I'm taking suggestions. Uh, Trivia Thursday. I like that you call it Fantastic Fridays. And by the way, Lori, I have already put your thing that you sent me in the show description. I tried to email you back, but I'm having a problem with my email because I have different addresses where if you send it to one address and then I try to email you back from another one, Google won't send it. So there's a couple of people that have emailed me and I have that problem. So I will email you back, but thank you for that. And your suggestion has been taken and already implemented in the show. We'll just kind of have a question mark over Wednesday still, but thank you. What did you say at the top of the show, Billy? I'll scroll back and find out. I don't know. Yeah. Hump day. Sandy says hump day stories about camels. Hump day stories about sexy times, Sandy. Yeah. Billy says, Camel Wednesday, not quite the same ring to it as Hump Day. Weird Wednesday, says Jose. Whatever Kim wants Wednesdays. That's nice. Kay says, I like the waterfall idea. All right. Fantastic Friday, says Walter. All right. Teacher says hump. Jose says wacky Wednesday. All right. Some good ideas here. John says weird Wednesday with stories that you'd think were from Florida, but maybe aren't. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Mindy, for the lovely compliment about my voice, except for when I'm coughing and hacking up a lung, right? Yeah. Well, thank you for that. That's a nice thing to say. All right. Let us move forward with the end of the show now that I've digressed. Have a great rest of your day. And again, I'll see you tomorrow here on the YouTube. But for now, bye-bye.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors and viewers like you.
So noted, my friend.